You look in the mirror and you see someone who is trying. You are putting in the hours, you are reading the books, you are watching the videos, and you are desperately attempting to piece together a life of meaning and stability. But deep down, in the quiet spaces of your mind that you never show to the world, you know the truth. You are fragile. When a minor inconvenience strikes your day, your mood spirals. When someone criticizes your work, your chest tightens with anxiety. When your plans fall apart, you collapse into frustration and victimhood. You have built a life that looks functional on the outside, but your internal architecture is made of glass. The slightest tremor in your environment, a harsh word, an unexpected bill, a shift in someone's tone of voice threatens to shatter your entire sense of peace. You're living at the absolute mercy of a chaotic, unpredictable world. You believe that your suffering is caused by the people around you, by the economy, by your circumstances, and by your past. But modern society has sold you a comforting, lethal lie. Society tells you that you are a victim. Society tells you that the world needs to be gentler, that people need to be kinder, and that your environment must be perfectly arranged for you to finally feel secure. The ancient Stoics would look at this modern mindset with profound pity. 2,000 years ago, men like Marcus Aurelius, who commanded the Roman Empire through brutal wars and devastating plagues, and Epictetus, a man who was born into the literal chains of slavery, discovered a terrifyingly powerful truth. They realized that waiting for the world to become easy is a guaranteed recipe for a miserable, pathetic life. They understood that you cannot pad the sharp edges of the universe. You can only forge yourself into someone who can no longer be cut. True strength is not loud. It is not the aggressive, chest-puffing arrogance you see on social media. True strength is a quiet, lethal, unbreakable mental resilience. It is the ability to stand dead center in the middle of a storm, watch your plans burn to the ground, look adversity directly in the eye, and remain completely, internally untouched. Today, we are going to dismantle the weak, comfortable programming that has been keeping you small. We are going to explore 3 brutal Stoic rules that will completely tear down your current mindset and rebuild you into a fundamentally stronger human being. These are not soft, gentle suggestions. They are ruthless, uncompromising laws of psychological mastery. They will challenge your ego. They will make you deeply uncomfortable, and they will demand that you finally take absolute responsibility for your own soul. Before we begin this reconstruction, you must make a definitive choice. Are you going to close this video and go back to being a fragile passenger in your own life? Or are you going to stay, face the fire, and do the grueling work of self-mastery? If you are ready to stop breaking under pressure, hit the subscribe button right now. Join a private, elite community of warriors who are actively forging their inner citadels. Share this video with someone who is currently drowning in their own excuses. And whatever you do, do not skip a single second of this guide. Every rule we discuss is a load-bearing pillar. If you miss one, the entire fortress you are trying to build will eventually collapse. Seal your commitment to this transformation right now. Drop this exact vow in the comments below. I trade my fragility for unbreakable strength. Number 1. Kill the fantasy of a fair life. The heaviest, most exhausting chain you carry around your neck is the quiet, desperate expectation that life is supposed to be fair. You operate under a subconscious contract with the universe. If you are a good person, if you work hard, if you treat others with respect, then you will be rewarded with success, loyalty, and peace. And when reality violently breaches that contract, when you are betrayed by someone you trusted, when you are passed over for a promotion you earned, when illness strikes your family, or when a crisis destroys your finances, you do not just experience pain. You experience a profound, paralyzing sense of injustice. You look at the sky and scream, "Why is this happening to me? I didn't deserve this." This demand for fairness is the root of almost all human bitterness. It is a psychological trap that turns pain into prolonged, agonizing misery. When you believe that life has wronged you, you adopt the identity of a victim. You surrender your agency. You sit in the ashes of your plans and wait for the universe to apologize and make things right. But the universe does not apologize. The universe is entirely indifferent to your expectations. The first brutal rule of Stoicism is the absolute, ruthless eradication of the concept of fairness. The Stoics recognized that demanding justice from the chaotic forces of nature is like demanding that a hurricane not destroy your house because you painted it beautifully. It is an exercise in utter delusion. Marcus Aurelius lived a life that, by modern standards, was profoundly unfair. He buried multiple children. He was betrayed by his closest general. He spent the final years of his life fighting grueling, freezing wars on the frontier. Yet his private journals contain zero complaints about the unfairness of his fate. Instead, he wrote, "To expect bad men not to do wrong is madness. To expect them to do wrong to others, but not to you, is senseless." He programmed his mind to expect tragedy, to expect betrayal, and to expect chaos as the natural operating system of human existence. To become mentally unbreakable, you must violently amputate the part of your ego that feels entitled to a smooth ride. You must look at the brutal realities of life, the unfairness, the cruelty, the random distribution of tragedy, and you must accept them with cold, clinical objectivity. When disaster strikes, you must train your mind to bypass the question of "why me?" entirely. Why me is a question for the weak. It is a question that generates endless mental loops of self-pity and resentment. The strong mind asks a fundamentally different question. Now what? Now what am I going to do with this wreckage? Now how am I going to use this pain to forge my character? Now how am I going to navigate this betrayal with my dignity completely intact? The Stoic master Epictetus taught that it is not what happens to you that destroys you. It is your judgment about what happens. When you strip away the judgment of unfairness, the event loses its psychological venom. It stops being a personal attack from the cosmos and simply becomes a neutral obstacle on the chessboard of life. A betrayal is no longer a tragedy. It is data revealing a person's true character. A financial loss is no longer a catastrophe. It is a forced lesson in resourcefulness and detachment. This level of acceptance is not passive surrender. It is the ultimate form of psychological dominance. The Stoics took this a step further with the concept of amor fati, the love of one's fate. You do not merely tolerate the unfairness of life, you embrace it. You recognize that the very things that test you, break your heart, and force you to your knees are the exact crucibles required to burn away your weakness. You realize that a life without adversity creates a soft, untested, fragile soul. When you truly accept that no one owes you a fair life, the anxiety of expectation evaporates. You stop waiting for justice, and you start executing your purpose regardless of the conditions. You become a force of nature that cannot be stopped because you no longer require the path to be easy in order to walk it. Anchor this new standard deep into your subconscious today. Drop this vow in the comments. I do not demand fairness. I demand strength. Number 2, become the architect of your own suffering. Look at the environment you have constructed for yourself. It is a masterpiece of comfort. You sleep in temperature-controlled rooms on memory foam mattresses. You have instant access to any food you desire without hunting or harvesting. You can entertain your mind for thousands of hours without ever leaving your couch. You have engineered a life entirely designed to avoid physical and emotional friction. But comfort is a silent, creeping poison. When you spend your entire life avoiding discomfort, your tolerance for stress atrophies to zero. Your nervous system becomes so incredibly sensitive that the slightest deviation from your comfortable routine triggers a severe panic response. A delayed flight feels like a crisis. A difficult conversation feels like an insurmountable threat. A day without your phone feels like sensory withdrawal. You have become soft, domesticated, and dangerously vulnerable. The second brutal rule of Stoicism is the practice of voluntary discomfort. The Stoics understood a biological and psychological law that modern science has only recently proven. The human organism requires stress to grow. If you do not intentionally subject yourself to hardship, your capacity to handle life will shrink until even the easiest days feel overwhelmingly heavy. Seneca, a man of immense political power and staggering wealth, did not trust his comfort. He knew that luxury softens the mind and creates a terrifying dependency on external things. To combat this, he practiced extreme, deliberate poverty. He would regularly spend days eating the coarsest, cheapest food, wearing rough, unwashed clothing and sleeping on hard floors. He did not do this to punish himself. He did this to ask himself a singular, liberating question. Is this the condition I so feared? By staring his worst-case scenarios in the face and forcing himself to live them by choice, Seneca destroyed the fear of loss. He proved to his own mind that he could survive without his wealth, without his status, and without his comfort. If you want to turn into a stronger, mentally unbreakable person, you must stop running from pain and start engineering it. You must become the active architect of your own suffering. You must introduce controlled, deliberate friction into your daily life. You do this by waking up at 5 a.m. when every cell in your body is screaming at you to hit the snooze button. You do this by turning the handle in your shower to the coldest possible setting and forcing yourself to stand under the freezing water, mastering your breath while your mind panics. You do this by fasting for 24 hours to teach your body that hunger is not an emergency, but merely a sensation. You do this by deliberately initiating the hard, awkward conversations you have been avoiding for months. When you voluntarily expose yourself to physical and psychological stress on your own terms, you are performing an act of neurological alchemy. You are teaching your brain that you are not a victim of discomfort, but the master of it. You are expanding your baseline of tolerance. The person who regularly subjects themselves to freezing water and grueling workouts does not crumble when their boss yells at them. The person who practices going without food does not panic when the economy fluctuates. Voluntary discomfort builds an inner citadel made of titanium. It proves to your subconscious mind that your will is infinitely stronger than your impulses. It removes the paralyzing fear of the unknown because you have already familiarized yourself with the shadows. When you actively seek out the hard things in times of peace, you become a terrifyingly calm, capable warrior in times of war. Life will inevitably force suffering upon you. But if you have spent your life training in the fires of voluntary hardship, Life's unexpected tragedies will not destroy you. They will simply bounce off the calluses you have deliberately built. Lock in your commitment to the fire right now. Comment below, "I choose the hard path to forge an unbreakable mind." Number 3. Divorce your identity from external outcomes. Why do you care so deeply about what other people think of you? Why does a single negative comment on your work have the power to ruin your entire week? Why do you tie your self-worth to the amount of money in your bank account, the prestige of your job title, or the affection of a specific person? It is because you have mistakenly fused your internal identity with external outcomes. You have taken your sacred, inherent value as a human being and placed it on the roulette wheel of the world's opinions. You are playing a game where the rules change daily, where the judges are fickle, flawed, and selfish, and where the final score is ultimately decided by luck, timing, and chaos. As long as your self-respect is tethered to things you cannot absolutely control, you will live your entire life as an anxious, trembling slave. The third brutal Stoic rule is the absolute, uncompromising divorce of your identity from external results. This is the core teaching of Epictetus, the slave who achieved a total mental freedom. Epictetus ruthlessly divided the entire universe into 2 categories: things that are up to us and things that are not up to us. Your reputation is not up to you. Your wealth is not up to you. The loyalty of your partner is not up to you. The success of your business is not up to you. No matter how brilliantly you plan, no matter how relentlessly you execute, a sudden market crash, a malicious rumor, or a random accident can wipe out your external achievements in an instant. If your identity is tied to those achievements, a market crash doesn't just destroy your business, it destroys your soul. A breakup doesn't just end a relationship, it annihilates your sense of being lovable. To become untouchable, you must shift your entire center of gravity inward. You must judge yourself strictly and exclusively by your own internal inputs, the purity of your intentions, the rigor of your discipline, the honesty of your words, and the sheer, raw effort you bring to the present moment. When you launch a project, you must detach completely from whether it makes $1 million or fails miserably. Your only concern must be, did I execute this with absolute excellence? Did I outwork my own excuses? Did I act with integrity? If the answer is yes, you have succeeded, even if the world calls you a failure. If the answer is no, you have failed, even if the world showers you with applause. This shift in measurement is profoundly terrifying to the ego because the ego feeds on public validation. But it is the only path to genuine freedom. When you stop requiring the world to applaud you, the world loses its power to punish you with its silence. When you stop needing people to agree with you, you can finally speak your unvarnished truth without a tremor in your voice. You must learn to play your role in life with maximum intensity while remaining completely detached from the final score. You love your partner with deep, unwavering devotion, but you accept that their feelings may change, and you know that your worth does not leave when they do. You work on your craft with the relentless focus of a master, but you accept that the market may reject your work. And you know that rejection does not diminish your genius. You become a sovereign entity. You walk into high-stakes negotiations, difficult confrontations, and massive risks with a chilling, lethal calmness. Why? Because you know that the absolute worst thing that can happen is an external failure. And since you no longer derive your identity from external failure, you effectively have nothing to lose. The person who does not need the world's validation is the most dangerous, powerful person in the room. They cannot be bribed, they cannot be threatened, they cannot be manipulated by praise or broken by criticism. They are a self-sustaining ecosystem of self-respect. Declare your psychological independence right now. Type this in the comments. My worth is defined by my actions, not my outcomes. These 3 brutal rules, killing the fantasy of fairness, becoming the architect of your own suffering, and divorcing your identity from external outcomes, are not philosophical thought experiments. They are the daily, grueling blueprints for tearing down your fragile ego and building an impenetrable inner citadel. When you implement these laws, your entire reality will shift. You will look at the people around you, the people who are constantly complaining, constantly performing, constantly breaking down over trivial nonsense, and you will feel a profound sense of detachment. You will realize that you are no longer playing the same game they are. You have stepped off the treadmill of anxiety and entered a realm of quiet, unshakable mastery. But you must understand that reading about Stoicism or watching a video about mental toughness achieves absolutely nothing. Knowledge without execution is just sophisticated entertainment. The mind does not transform through passive consumption. It transforms through relentless, uncomfortable action. Tomorrow morning, the alarm will ring. The darkness will be cold. Your mind will instantly begin to generate excuses. It will beg you to stay in bed. It will beg you to delay the hard work. It will urge you to seek comfort, to complain about your circumstances, and to worry about what people will think of you. In that exact fraction of a second, you will decide who you are. You will either surrender to the weak, comfortable programming of your past, or you will strike the anvil. You will rise. You will force yourself into the cold. You will accept the unfairness of the day. You will welcome the friction, and you will execute your duties without a single thought given to the applause of the crowd. You do not have unlimited time to make this choice. The final, overriding principle that drives every Stoic action is the profound awareness of mortality. Memento mori. You are dying right now. Every second you spend paralyzed by fear, every hour you waste complaining about unfairness, every day you spend hiding in comfort and seeking validation is a piece of your irreplaceable life that you are burning and throwing into the wind. You do not have 1,000 years to figure this out. You do not have guaranteed tomorrows. You have this exact moment, this fleeting breath, this singular opportunity to decide whether you will live as a fragile victim or an unbreakable sovereign. The philosophy has been laid before you. The ancient weapons have been placed in your hands. The path is clear, and it is brutally steep. It is time to stop reading the map and start walking the mountain. If you have stayed in the fire with me until the very end of this video, you belong to a fraction of a % of society that possesses the rare, raw hunger required for actual transformation. You are not a spectator. You are an architect. Prove your commitment to your own mind today. Hit the like button to lock in your progress. Share this video with someone who desperately needs to wake up and reclaim their power. And make absolutely sure you are subscribed, so you never lose your edge in a world designed to make you weak. Leave your final, unbreakable declaration in the comments below. I forge my mind and I conquer my reality. Stay grounded, stay disciplined. Guard your inner citadel. I will see you in the next one.